going on, everyone? Good evening. This is Connor, and we're going to do some ear training. Pro ear training. So we're talking about modes, and modes are hip, right? Like anyone who's a musician and you hear the word modes, you know it's got to be talking about something really cool, right? And yeah, we are going to talk about some cool stuff. And I have the intention of clearing up stuff and showing you how to use this kind of knowledge in your own life, your own musical creativity. So first, let's talk about the modes. Like, what are they, right? We're talking about the modes. Now, the way that people speak about them on the internet essentially is the modes of the major scale, which is taking the notes of a major scale. So let's take a major scale. So let's take C major. Let's do a higher octave here. So we've got C major. And maybe you know the formula. It's important to know actually root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is saying root major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, major seventh. Like this is the formula that creates the major scale, or Aeolian is another name for the major scale. So now what happens if I take the notes of the major scale, but I start on the second degree relative to C that gives us the note D. So now I'm going to take the notes of the C major scale, start on D and go D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Okay, that's a different sound, but it's still just the notes of the C major scale. So what's going on here? Well, this is one of the modes. It's one of like the, what's the word I'm looking for? The permutations that I can go through thinking there's just a group of 7 notes. Rather than starting it on the first one, I'm starting it on the second one and playing the same sequence of notes again. It provides a different pattern of whole steps and half steps between the notes. Thus, the sound is different. And we call that sound something. And this is the one that we call Dorian. And yeah, it's true that Dorian is a result of taking a major scale, starting on its second degree, and playing the scale on top of itself again. But it's also equally, and this is something I actually want to drill home, it's just its own sound. We don't always need to stick it back to major. Dorian's the second mode of the major scale. Dorian's the second mode of the major scale. No, it's just some note and then a formula. So the formula for Dorian is root 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, root. So it's like a minor scale natural 6. It's a way to think about it. And I can actually start on any note now. I don't need to think, oh, I'm going to start on B flat Ionian and then go to the 2 and play the notes. You're right, it gets so confusing quickly. I'll just pick a note. Let's do C. But I'm going to play C Dorian this time. So formula, root 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, root 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. There we go. So, and I could start on any note and plug that same pattern in, and it will always provide me the result of a Dorian scale. Okay, so if we continue the thought process now, and I'm taking the C major scale, but I start on its third degree, and then I play the same notes again, that's a different sound now, right? We've got a half step between the root and the flat 2, actually, and this is called Phrygian. Root, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. It's the third mode of the major scale. But just like Dorian, I could start on any note. I'll pick A, root, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. I just played A Phrygian. A Phrygian is the third mode of F Ionian. I could think that, but it doesn't actually help. We don't need to be sticking modes back to the Ionian generating scale, and that just gets confusing. So we've got Ionian. This is Dorian. This is Phrygian. Now if we go to the fourth degree of the major scale, we get root 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like major scale sharp 4. And this is called Lydian. And if we go to the 5th degree, this gives us G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1, major scale flat 7. This is Mixolydian. Let's continue. So now I'm on the 6th degree relative to C. That gives us the note A, root 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7. So this is called minor or natural minor, also called Aeolian, and it is the relative minor of C major or C Ionian. The relative minor of a major scale always happens on its 6th degree. You may be wondering, like, why don't we call any of the other modes relative to C? Like, why don't we think, you know, G Mixolydian is the relative other minor scale flat 7 to, just gets so confusing. But we do use major and minor scales specifically to create harmony with, and it's very common to do that. Thus, we kind of link them conceptually, thinking that, you know, this is relative to this. Although all of the other modes are equally relative to major as Aeolian is. So the last one we got to go through, though, is called Locrian, and it sounds like this. Root, flat 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7. It's like all flat scale degrees except the 4. Now, these are the modes when people talk about the modes. Okay, this is what they mean. The modes of major. There are 7 of them, and the best way to do it is to memorize the formulas. To start with that, you start by memorizing the major scale formula, which is all just whole numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. However, they all represent a more, I guess, correct nomenclature of like root, major 2nd, major 3rd, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, major 6, major 7. But we just associate those numbers, those terms specifically to the numbers, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I say root 2 flat 3, that means minor 3rd. Flat 6 is minor 6. Flat 7 is minor 7th. And of course there's, you know, flat 5s and augmented 4ths and so on. So that's the modes so far. And I just want to check in with the chat. If there's anyone out there watching, feel free to ask any questions, or if anything isn't clear as I go through this. That's why I'm doing this, is to help you understand. So now with the modes all cleared up as far as I can tell, there are other modes, of course, which I'm not going to get into, but there are the modes of harmonic minor. So that's a scale, and there are 7 modes of it. There's also melodic minor. And there are 7 modes of it as well. So, you know, you get all sorts of crazy scales like Dorian, flat 2. I'm not going to get into it too much, but. So yes, to summarize, the modes are the modes of the major scale. There are 7 of them. Those are the formulas. I'll go through them one more time to get us up to speed. Ionian, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dorian, root 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7. Phrygian, root, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7. Lydian, major scale, sharp 4, 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7. Got Mixolydian, major scale, flat 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. Aeolian, root 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. And Locrian, which is like everything flat except the 4. So root, flat 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7. There's 3 minor ones, which are Dorian, Phrygian, and Aeolian. And in the same way that I was saying, like Lydian is major scale sharp 4, or Mixolydian is major scale flat 7, we could think that Dorian is minor scale natural 6, or Phrygian is minor scale flat 2. These are also helpful little tips to help you memorize these. Okay. Music theory out of the way. Okay, so I want to jump over to the main event. Yeah, so this is something else I want to mention about the ear training thing briefly, which is when people, I think, talk about ear training, there's more to it than just the plain listening aspect, okay? There's actually 3 aspects. Like, how do I say this? Just to give an yeah, I shouldn't say it like that. Because yeah, you can hear stuff, but if you don't have the music theory conceptually to divide it in your mind, how do you know you're hearing a flat 2 of something? Like this is just a sound in and of itself, but we need to create a theory, right? This is a note that's a half step away from some other note. There are 12 notes. A half step is the smallest distance we can travel. That's what it sounds like. Ah, that's a flat 2, right? Oh, I can play a flat 2 now. So it's identifying it by ear, but also understanding the theory so then you know what you're hearing. And then the third aspect of this is to be able to express it on your instrument, to actually be able to speak it. That's how you develop fluency. Like it does mean nothing to just identify sound. Imagine if I didn't study any music theory. It's like, I'm going to do some ear training. Like, what would you even do? Like, how would you even sparse like what's happening? We need concepts to divide the listening experience into manageable chunks so we can actually navigate the space. Ah, that's a major chord. Like, it's major because, it's made of a root, a third, and a fifth. Okay, and then you can learn what that means. You're like, oh, but that sounds happy, but I want a happy but dreamy. So you learn, oh, that's what it sounds like to put sevens on major chords. Oh, that's interesting. So then if I want to write a song that has like some sort of dreamy thing going on, maybe I'd want to use this chord. And yeah, and this is definitely how you want to start thinking about this kind of stuff. So then I think, what if I want to put a 9 on it? Ooh, now it's getting sophisticated but dreamy. I'll take the 9 away. This reminds me of clouds. But now I want like hip pink clouds with sunglasses. Right? What if I want it a little bit darker? Okay, well, minor's the way to go. Okay, now we're telling a story about, I don't know, I'm visualizing like a dark night, some dude with a cape and a carriage. But what if I want that kind of feeling, but I want to soften it? Well, you can soften minor chords by adding flat 7s to them. See? Oh, now it's kind of like, now it just feels like it's raining. But if I take the flat 7 away, straight minor again. But if I put a 9 in it, so 9s heighten the minor feel. What if I want like a tripped out, kooky kind of sound? Well, then you can put major 7s on minor chords and that'll do it. If I put a 9 back, whoa, now it's getting weird. So I'm just doing this to demonstrate that equally as important is developing your ear. You need to know what you're doing. You need to know what you're developing. And this is where the actual music theory, the language to navigate the conceptual space becomes useful. And then, of course, the application to your instrument, whether it be the piano or the guitar or whatever it is. It's these 3 aspects to really develop musical fluency. So let's check some stuff here. If there's anyone in the chat, feel free to say what's up or ask any questions. Maybe I'll wait a moment just to see if there are any questions, because I'm about to move into the actual ear training part of the stream. We're going to be checking out Sonofield, which is a fantastic ear training application that uses drones. This is the way to do it. A drone, by the way, as you'll hear, is just a continuously repetitive tone that plays and plays and plays, and then some other note will play, and then by ear we need to tell what the difference between the two are, what the interval relationship is. And we're going to do the modes in our ear training today. So if there's no questions or anything, I'm going to jump over to the application here. One moment. All right. So this is Sonofield. There is a link in the description to check this out on your own. And what we're going to do is jump over to do degrees, head over to challenges. Okay, so now this is what I was just going over at the beginning of the stream. The modes of major, and here they are listed for us with their degrees. Okay, so Ionian is another name for major. Aeolian is another name for minor. We've got Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian. So if anyone wants to pick one for me, I can do that one first. Is anyone out there? I mean, I should probably do Lydian, right? It's the good sound. Lydian! I love the sound of Lydian. I mean, who doesn't love this kind of thing? What a pretty sound. So major scale sharp 4 is what we're going to be checking out now. This was the 4th mode of the major scale. This is Lydian. So how it is going to work is that we've got the degrees around the circle. So blue is at the top there, and then we've got, so blue at the top, 1 meaning octave. We've got fifths, seconds, or ninths. In case you didn't know, 2s and ninths are the same interval relationship. They're extended intervals. We've got 6s or 13s. This is another name. Thirds, 7s, and sharp 4s. So once I click the play button, the application will generate a drone for us, and then by ear, we have to correctly select the correct tone. So let's jump on in. Here we go. Played a few times. Now, if you're someone who's new to this, or maybe you have some experience already, like what process are you going through to do this? And how do we develop a process to have familiarity, to know what it is? Is there anything we can rule out? There's some terms here that we can talk about, which are consonance and dissonance. Consonance just means agreeable, pleasing, stable, and dissonance is the opposite. Disagreeable, tense, tension. Would you say that this feels tense? Or leaning more on the agreeable, pleasing, pleasant side of the gradient? To me, it does not feel tense. It feels kind of nice, uplifting almost. So then, are there any intervals I could rule out? Again, I don't know what your experience is currently, so if you have a certain skill level you'd like me to tell you about that I can make content on, let me know in the comments. So it's about as consonant as it gets. It's not sharp 4, it's not 7, this is very dissonant. It doesn't feel like a third, it's not a 6, it's not a 2. To me, I can tell it's a 5th. To me, 5ths feel like going to battle. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm going to select 5th. Yes. Okay, so I'll play it again. What do you think? I'll give you time to hear them before I give my answer. So I hear 2 things, maybe 3. There's the initial gut instinct, in the same way that when I look at a color, I have some speakers in front of me, like the KRKs. So it's yellow. It's got a yellow little mesh there. Like when I look at it and I see that it's yellow, I don't look around me. That's green, that's blue, that's brown, that's black. Therefore that's yellow. It's like, no, I look at yellow and I see instantly, I know it's yellow. And when I hear this interval, I know what it is. At the same time, there are some tricks that we can use that I also hear in my mind. So I hear that note falling down to the 5th. I'm going to try to sing, forgive me. I can hear that this interval is falling down. And I can tell that that's a fifth. I can also hear the 6 counting up, walking up to the 7 to the root as well. So there's like the initial instinct, which is actually what we're trying to develop here with ear training. We want to know exactly what it is from the moment that we hear it. That is the goal. However, there are secondary kind of deductions that we can do once we start developing familiarity with the harmonic landscape. So I'm going to select 6. So again, I have an instinct. I'll play it a few times for you. To me, that just sounds like a root, an octave. I don't feel any tension. It's about as pure as it gets. Yep. What do you think? Is anyone on stream? Feel free to give a guess. So again, I hear 3 things. Always what you want to go for is instinct. So to me, I have some sort of sense of what it is. I also hear the note rising. Up to the 3rd. 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. And I can also hear it falling down to the 1. I'm singing it as well. I can feel it. And it's a 2. What do you think? So to me, it's the same interval actually. It's just up an octave. And notice its purity and its clarity. It almost sounds like a 5th, actually. And something interesting, actually, that maybe I can talk about now. I'll keep the drone going. I'm going to need to find the note of the drone. So I don't have perfect pitch at all, so I can't just snipe a note, but I'm going to make a guess. I don't know. Okay, so it's G. Now, what I was going to mention is it's this note here. Right? I could hear that. I know it's the 9. But I was saying that it sounds like a 5th. The reason that is because the 9 is the 5 of the 5th. And that may sound strange. If I take the root note and I go to its 5, this is the 5th. This is the sound of a 5th. I don't even need the bass note. The drone's playing it for us. And if I go to the 5th of D, it is the note A. And A is the 9 of the key. That's why 9 sounds so 50. It's because it's the 5th of the 5th. Okay. Here's a 3rd. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we actually don't have 4s here. This is the sharp 4. We're playing in Lydian right now. This is the 1 again. And when I'm doing this, I'm always thinking of degrees. Even when I'm improvising or playing guitar or playing piano, I do my best to be conscious of the interval that I'm on, actually. This is a 2, 3, sharp 4. This is the sound of a 3rd. This was the note that we were just on, of course, so let's select that. The 9 or the 2. So now that we know we're in G, what do you guys think? Sounds pure again, but not 9 pure. It's either a 1 or a 5. I actually know it's a 5. I'll play it. Let's see. To me, 5s are like going to battle. Like, imagine that's a trumpet, right? So, 5th. Okay, that's a vibe. I don't know if you have good headphones on, but if you do, you'll be able to hear the waves, right? Waves basically mean there's two notes that are very close together. And what's the closest note to a root in a Lydian scale? That actually might help you. It's this guy. Or this. It's the 7. You can hear it going up. Right, it wants to go up. It's almost like there's like a magnetic attraction to it. You know, when you put two magnets next to each other really close, they're like, yeah, and then they just want to flip and connect. It's kind of like that, and you know, music and harmony and chord progressions and everything hinge on this like tension and resolution constantly. Feel that? It's like, right? Works every time. So this is a 7. Let us continue. What do you think? It's good to just even give a guess. Even if you don't know what to think at all, pick something. To me, I get that dissonance again. You can hear it's a 7. That feels good. Feels consonant. I think that it is this. I was up too high of an octave. Yeah, it's a 3rd. 3rds are very grounding. Kind of reminds me of the morning time type vibes. Major 3rd. That's different. Man, I feel like you could wake me up at like 5 in the morning, play me that sound, and I'll know it every time. Love it so much. That's the sound of a sharp 4. Or I guess it's down here. And sharp 4s like to fall down to 3rds. Or up to the 5th. Okay, nice. Sharp 4. It's going to change keys on us now. I'm going to move a little bit faster now. That is a 13. I'm just going to guess. Yep. That's a 3. Let's find the root note first, actually. Yeah, right. It's like a low C, so... Okay. That's going to be this. Or even this. It's a major 7th. I think that's a 6. Yeah, nice. This guy? Yeah, it's a 5th. That's gonna be this. It's a 2. Right, yeah. Major 3rd. That's a 1. Right. Yeah, this one's tripping me up, actually. Right, of course. That's this. Or this. The 2. Oh, man, it's this guy. The sound of a sharp 4. Key change. I'm just gonna find the key. All right, so we're in A, And that note sounded like it's going to be this. Yeah, sharp 4. All right. That's going to be this. C sharp, major 3rd. That's this, or this, major 7. Man, that is just the sound of a 6. So if we're in A, that's going to be 6 of A is F sharp. That's a 5th all day of my life. That is a 2. That's going to be, or here. Up an octave, 2. That's a 1. That's a 3 down low. I think that's a 1. I could be wrong. No, I was right. Okay, perfect. Let's go. That's what you want to do when you're streaming, right? I'm going to chill for a sec. Give my ear a rest. And see if there's any questions. So yeah, that's how you do that. And I mean, man, there's so much going on in my thought process as I do that. So if you'd like me to expand on anything at all, please let me know. I'm always going to ask. You know, I'm a teacher and I actually love questions. I love talking to myself in front of a screen too. That's pretty cool. Now, there's no magic to this. There's no secret. It's pure... couple things I'd say is curiosity, a childlike wonder. I think that's honestly one of the most crucial ingredients. If you don't have a childlike wonder and curiosity, why would you do ear training? You know, there's got to be a reason. Maybe you want to get better at jamming. That's a reason. Maybe you want to know how to write music that makes people cry. Or you're a horror film composer and you want to know where the scary chords are at. Like, there's got to be a reason why you want to do ear training. There's a sound that you want to hear, right? That's the thing, and reproduce. For me, that's always how it was, and I guess I'm a little bit different than most people. I love just hanging out and understanding stuff and developing familiarity with things, so I just like to do that in passing on my own, so... Yeah, a little bit about me actually is I used to work as a professional transcriber for many years. Geez, like 5 years I did that. I made MIDI packs. So how it would work is that I would be given a genre and I would be tasked with creating 50 chord progressions in that genre. So I would be given a playlist, let's say house music, and I would pick either, you know, the verse or the chorus, the coolest chord progression of the song. And then by ear, I would figure out the mathematical formula of the progression, and then I would notate that in all 12 keys. And then I did that in 30 genres. So, I mean, man, you named it. I've done it. I've done it. Gospel, jazz, classical, cinematic, orchestral, dubstep, trap. Man, the hardest to do, I've got to say, was probably gospel. It's just like insane chord changes, like altered dominance, tritone substitutions. Everything's got extensions on it. But, you know, once you write and you transcribe a lot of songs, let's say, I did a lot of them. I still do a lot of transcribing. But man, that is the way to do it. You want to get better at music? Like, go directly to your ear. Train your ear and train it in context. Like, these isolation exercises doing ear training applications are fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I've done a lot of that too. But really where you put it to the test is doing real music, which I do every Saturday, actually. I stream Saturdays 10:30 PST. and I pick a song and break it down live and talk through my process on how to hear key centers and how to visualize that on your instrument and how to understand chord extensions and diatonic harmony. And this coming week, actually, I'm going to be doing specifically identifying key centers and talking about that. Excuse me. Probably one of the most, if not the most useful skill for any musician to develop is to develop your ability to quickly identify a key center. If you know a key center, you know how keys work, then you're instantly oriented. This is the 1 chord. We're in a minor key. Thus, I can play minor 9 chords, minor 11s. You can't put 13s on it. It'll take flat 7s, blah, blah, blah. You can totally develop this, and maybe it's a good time to tell the internet. I've got an upcoming course coming out that I'll be releasing on YouTube, actually, which is a songwriting course for guitar, specifically about diatonic harmony, major, minor, diminished chords, major and minor keys. And that will be the first in a series where I'll eventually be sharing how to compose with extended chords like 6s, sus chords, 7ths, 9s, 11s, and 13s coming up in future courses. So that's basically all I've been doing, and I'm super stoked to be sharing that in maybe next week. You never know. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that for now. And I hope that was helpful to you. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date with all of the coolest stuff I'll be talking about. And yeah, well, we just did one of the modes today, but man, I mean, there's so much to go over. And we did the best mode though, Lydian. I actually love Mixolydian as well. So it was really great hanging with you guys, whoever was there. And thank you so much. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Come hang out with me on Saturday. We'll be doing some ear training then if you'd like to chat with me then.